Hey guys, I'm going to be showing you how to do something like this image that you see now. I just like to call it colored bars. So yeah, let's get started. So open up your Photoshop and just create a new document. Good size. If you want to make it a wallpaper, make it your screen resolution. And fill the background with like an off black, kind of like a really dark gray color. And just hit Alt Delete for that. And then you want to go create a new layer and go to Filter, Render, and Clouds. Alright, so you should have this. Then just take the pen tool and click somewhere and then click somewhere else, and then make sure to hold down the mouse button and just drag it to create a nice curve, because you want to get like a kind of like a curvy cloud thing like that. Alright, so once you have your curved selection here, you want to right click and say make selection, and make it a pretty decent feather radius. 50 is good for me, and click OK. And then you want to hit Control Shift and then I, and then hit the delete key, and that'll give us this nice cloud here. And then you can move it around and orient it any way you like. That looks about good. So now you want to go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and blur it a good amount so that you can still see some detail in the cloud. Not like this, where you can't really see anything, but not too much where it still looks like that, or too little where it still looks like that. You want to go right there so you can still see the spots all in there. Alright, so we're going to click OK, and that's good. So now create a new layer, and you want to go to the gradient tool and just select the pre-made rainbow one, and you can use linear or radial gradient up here. I like to use linear, and you get something like that. It's good to like try to get all the colors in there. That should work. So you set that to overlay, and now what you want to do is you want to play around with these values. So the overlay, I'm going to play with that, the fill level, and also the opacity a little bit to kind of get, and then I'm going to do the same for the cloud back here. And this is just going to require you to play with it a little bit. Just to kind of get a good background there. And I think that looks pretty good, actually. Alright, so once you have that, now we get to start making the bars. So go ahead and create a new layer and make sure that it's in between the gradient, the rainbow gradient, and the cloud layer. So we want it to be right in the middle. And what we're gonna do is just create a selection here, and all you gotta do is just fill it with white by hitting Alt Delete. Alright, so we got that filled with white now. Now we're going to add a mask to it. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna create a mask by clicking this button down here, and make sure you have the mask layer selected, and we're going to go to the gradient tool. We need to be on black, but the black needs to be over here like this. Okay, so now that'll work. So you want to go straight up and fade it out a good amount so that there's no hard edges up there. Alright, so we have this now. Now you want to duplicate, or first of all you want to change that to overlay. Alright, and then duplicate it twice by pressing Control J. Alright, so now the two layers underneath it, you want to blur, you want to select the bottom most, and you want to go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and just blur that a little bit to kind of give it a nice kind of shadow thing. And then you can tweak around with the opacity and fill settings, but I find that to be really good with all layers on overlay. So now what we can do is, now that we have our template, we can just make those into a group and just put that in a group there. And now all we have to do is press Control J to duplicate the group, and we can move it, and then we can press Control T to resize it to a different size. And we can just keep doing that all through the color spectrum. See how we move close, like away from the gradient. These ones over here are going to be more reddish, and then we move into green and then yellow and then back into red. So that's where the whole effect kind of comes from. And if your image looks bad like mine, see how you can see all the like lines in here and stuff, all you gotta do is just go to image mode, and then you want to change it to 16 bits per channel, and that smooths it out real nice. It'll make a larger file size, but the quality is much better. So with that, you just want to keep playing around, making them different sizes. You can arrange them however you want. I generally like to keep the bases aligned down here, but you can do like offsetting like this. It doesn't really matter, but that's how you do the effect. I hope you liked it. I hope this was helpful, and if you like the video, and if you like us, subscribe, and until next time, I'll see you later.